The price of the life-saving COVID-19 medication Paxlovid is likely to rise next year, and that's a concern for doctors who say it is the most effective medication for the virus. The antiviral drug is going to be available or has been available for free to everyone through government purchases. Now it's going to go to a more traditional commercial marketplace for most patients at the end of the year. And that's going to mean it may be less accessible. The new price, the cost before insurance, has not yet been set, but it's expected to be higher than the $530 per course price paid by our government. People who are on Medicare or Medicaid or who are uninsured are still going to be able to get Paxlovid for free through 2024 through a patient assistance program.
The federal government will no longer be allowed to separate migrant families if a federal court approves a new settlement. That settlement will not allow families to be separated over the next 8 years, except in limited circumstances. For example, when someone has committed a serious felony. The settlement also sets up support for families who were previously separated, but does not provide monetary compensation. It comes after border officials separated at least 2,800 children from their parents under the former President Donald Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy. More than 1,000 children were also separated before that rule went into effect back in 2018. New York City announced a new policy that will limit the amount of time a migrant family can stay at a shelter. Families seeking asylum will now be required to leave those facilities after 60 days and will have to reapply for placement. The new rule takes effect next week. 60-day notices will be given out to families who have been in the system the longest. This is the latest push to reduce resources to the more than 64,000 people who are currently in New York City's shelter system. Since last spring, more than 126,000 migrants have arrived in New York City. The city is expected to open a new shelter in the coming weeks in Brooklyn.
So-called ghost guns may soon be back under the regulation of federal gun laws. A Supreme Court decision overriding a Texas court that blocked the rules for these guns, which are made from kits that can be bought online. Ghost guns do not have serial numbers, they cannot be traced, and people who couldn't buy a regular gun or pass a background check could easily get them. There's been a back and forth in the court system whether gun laws can be enforced in this case. There is still, though, a legal challenge from gun part makers being played out in the lower courts.
And now to the crucial vote for a new Speaker of the House. After a night of lobbying to his fellow Republicans, House Judiciary Chairman and conservative firebrand Jim Jordan appears to be gaining some ground.
ABC's Ike Ejiochi with how Jordan's bid for Speaker still faces challenges. That vote is underway right now. He may come up short, at least in this initial voting.
Today, the House is expected to vote on a new Speaker. Representative Jim Jordan, the lone candidate, vying to win the Speaker's gavel and to become second in line to the president. Monday night, the Ohio lawmaker meeting with Republican holdouts, scrambling to shore up enough support ahead of the planned floor vote.
There's still at least four Republicans who say they will not support you. How do you get them on board?
We're talking to everyone, listening to everyone. Again, I feel good about how things are moving.
Jordan can only afford to lose the support of 4 Republicans if all lawmakers are present and voting. As of now, 10 GOP lawmakers have signaled they won't back him.
That's where I'm at. I have no reason to change that. And so that's where I'm at.
Some of us will not just be walked over on this, and we've been walked on since January.
Jordan is currently leading the impeachment inquiry into President Biden and is a staunch supporter of former President Donald Trump. He's on record pushing false claims about the 2020 election, even one time suggesting Trump shouldn't concede. A big problem for conservative Colorado Republican Ken Buck.
Jim, at some point, if he's going to lead this conference, is going to have to be strong and say Donald Trump didn't win the election.
Other Republicans just want the infighting to stop.
This has got House of Cards stuff written all over it. We need to get a speaker elected.
The House has been without a speaker for 2 weeks. After Kevin McCarthy was ousted, Majority Leader Steve Scalise was nominated before dropping out after he couldn't get the votes required, opening the door for Jordan.
Even if Jordan doesn't have the votes on the initial ballot, he could force additional rounds of voting, similar to Kevin McCarthy, who needed 15 rounds back in January before being elected Speaker. Ike Ejiochi, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Just look at this picture right there.
Yep.
I think we've seen that picture when it was like over 100 degrees. So look at the little icon down there where it just says 70. Then look at the picture.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's crystal clear out there. It was yesterday, too.
Windows open, doors open, all that good stuff. It's one of those days. Hey, I know you guys remember this. We got to go back to 1998. Today is the anniversary of the 98 flood. 25 years ago. Can you believe it? So many people here in San Antonio remember this day. Tragic day in many ways here in San Antonio as the floodwaters came in quick. 15 to 30 inches of rain, San Antonio to San Marcos. Sadly, 31 fatalities, 12,000 structures damaged, 1.4 billion in damages in today's numbers. So, yeah, we remember this day well, and we know what can happen this time of year. If we can get Pacific moisture coming in along a slow-moving frontal boundary, we can get flood events like this one. And so there is the potential of some Pacific moisture coming in by next week. I'm not saying it'll be this by any stretch of the imagination, but it is something to watch. And you can also watch more on the floods of 98 there with the QR code. We have a story on our website today. This morning's lows, 47 here in San Antonio, 39 Boulevardy, 37 Bernie Stage. It was cold out there. Temperatures, though, have since warmed up. And by the way, this was the coolest morning since March 20th, 211 days ago. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 78 at 4 o'clock. And that's our high today, down to 71 at 7 p.m. If you have evening plans, looks perfect. We will dip into the 60s by 8 o'clock and eventually 50s by midnight, and then into the low 50s probably by tomorrow morning. Some really warm stuff is on the way. We're going to look at that and the tropics as well, coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. New toys are great, but only a few live in our childhood memories forever. You can help one of these get into the Toy Hall of Fame. How to vote your toy in next.
And artificial intelligence isn't just for fun apps. It's also being put to practical use by doctors, why researchers hope the new technology could save lives. The White House reviewing an FDA plan to ban menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars.
The Office of Management and Budget considering approving this ban, which the American Lung Association is applauding, but it's unclear when that approval could happen.
However, experts predict the tobacco industry will fight it in court if it gets the okay. One study suggests a U.S. menthol ban could save more than 500,000 lives in 40 years.
More than 64,000 Americans will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer this year, which is treatable if it's caught early enough, but getting diagnosed in time is tough.
CNN's Mandy Gaither with how artificial intelligence may soon help get a diagnosis before it's too late.
It's expected to become the second leading cause of cancer death in the U.S. by 2030, and many times pancreatic cancer is a silent killer.
Patients typically present at a stage where the cancer has really won the battle, so to speak.
Dr. Ajit Goenka with Mayo Clinic says nearly 70% of patients with pancreatic cancer face death within the first year of diagnosis. That's why early detection is critical. But he says many times small pancreatic cancers aren't detected on CT scans until it's advanced to an incurable stage.
That effectively makes imaging as the final frontier in our quest for early cancer detection.
Goenka and other researchers used imaging data sets from past CT scans of those diagnosed with pancreatic cancer to create an artificial intelligence model that they hope will help aid in early detection of small tumors that are currently difficult to detect.
We are very happy with what we have achieved so far, but we are also mindful of the fact that we still have a lot of work remaining to be done.
The models are being tested, and Goenka says eventually they'd like to get to a point where they can present their technology for review by the FDA.
We are prepared to fight a long battle to be able to overcome early detection of pancreas cancer.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Take a look outside with live cam. You can see for miles and miles and miles. What are we doing here in the office?
I don't know. We need some windows in this studio or something. Skylight or something going on. It is so nice out there. 67 right now. 47 was the low this morning. It was below average. We'll be below average again today, and that really is a great thought. considering how many days this year we've been above average. The record is 96 set back in 1993. Now, this is not going to be hit today, but we do have some record heat potentially in the forecast, if you can believe that. More on that forecast coming up.
Calaveras aren't just the painted skulls you see every year. Calaveras can be written, and they are humorous and a poetic Day of the Dead tradition.
A calavera is written about someone who's still alive. To poke fun or to bring somebody down in the form of a pun or satirical piece of poetry. And it is usually written about someone who's prominent either in politics, in sports, in entertainment. Calaveras are not written about people who are already dead, and that's because a person cannot defend themselves.
No one can precisely say how Calaveras became a Day of the Dead tradition, but one artist played a crucial role leading up to the Mexican Revolution.
One thing that happened is that José Posada in Mexico took this Spanish tradition of writing calaveras in a literary way, and he took it and did visuals, art pieces with skeletons. The premise being that underneath everybody is the same and everyone is a skeleton. How did calaveras come to San Antonio? Would you believe that one person brought them over? Moisés Espino del Castillo. Castillo meaning castle, so he then becomes the Duke of Calaveras. He was asked to write some poetry for our local newspaper back in the early 70s. He was a Spanish professor, so all his work was done in Spanish. So then he was asked to do some calaveras, which he objected to because he said no one going to be able to read them in an English-speaking newspaper. But nonetheless, he did write some and started then a 30-year career in writing calaveras. I think that is just one of the most incredible things that you can single-handedly say this person brought the calaveras to San Antonio, Texas.
Very interesting.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about the 25th anniversary of the 1998 floods. And for people who are new to San Antonio, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years, a lot of the infrastructure that you see, bridges over creeks that are dry right now, and some of the overpasses, came as a result of that particular flood. That's how bad it was.
And the people who are recent to the city need to understand that that could happen again, and it has happened every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Really?
You're not wrong. We are in flash flood alley. So we always call this kind of area flash flood alley because we can get these kind of floods that happen so very quickly. We can be in a drought and all of a sudden a flood comes along. So we do have to be very careful. And 1998 is a good way to remember that. I mean, that was a really bad flood for us. Let's look at the numbers right now. Departure from normal rainfall. So how far are we below average? And certainly we have not seen any big floods this year or last year for that matter. And you can see that the drought is really, really taking hold. Down 10 inches or more here in San Antonio. And by the way, the entire state is looking at a deficit now. So it's not just us, it's all the cities, all the reporting sites here across the state dealing with some sort of deficit. San Antonio is one of the bigger ones. Dallas-Fort Worth's right there with us as well. So yeah, the weather is great. We love it, but we need some rain. And there is not a lot in the forecast. I got to tell you, at least over the next 6 to 7 days. Now, beyond that, maybe, just maybe a little bit of hope. But we do not have any rain chances in the immediate future. As we go outside for you and we look at the time lapse, it has been a gorgeous day. We will at least enjoy this part of it. 67 at the airport, 70 in New Braunfels, upper 60s for Seguin, Bernie, and Kerrville. We've got dry air, light winds at this point. It's one of those just picture perfect situations. 79 is the forecast high in New Braunfels today and Seguin, Floresville. 78 here in town, 78 in Devine. Maybe as warm as 80 down there in Carrizo Springs, but most everyone enjoying this beautiful weather. And as we look at the big picture here, it's very quiet across the middle part of the country. We've got some rain in parts of New Mexico and Arizona. You'll find some rain with a little system that's up across the northern tier states, and then some cloud cover out east. But For fall, this is a pretty quiet weather scenario. We're still not seeing these big storm systems. We had a few of them come across the country, but we're kind of hitting sort of a lull here at the moment as far as getting any big systems and pushing any big cold fronts through. I want to take you out to the tropics because we do have some interesting stuff brewing here. Out in the Atlantic, we have a system that potentially could develop. There's about an 80% chance of development, and honestly, it looks pretty good. We're starting to see the satellite picture look a little bit better. Spaghetti plots, though, show that this is going to bend out into the Atlantic and probably not interact with land. And this time of year, when you see stuff form out in the Atlantic, that's often what happens because you get fronts that come through and it just kind of acts like a shield to the United States. But out in the Pacific, it's a little different story. So this is the time of year where we start watching the Pacific Ocean a little more closely, because this is what can contribute to some rain chances here in South Texas. And that's actually what happened back in the flood of '98. Speaking of, we had some good moisture come in from the Pacific, and that's what allowed for some really heavy rain. Now, this system has a high probability of developing. It will slowly drift north, and then from there, it may turn east into Mexico. If that happens, and if this gets picked up by our funnel boundaries, say next week, could mean some rain chances for us. We're not going to get excited about it yet because it's too far away to say for sure. But it is something to watch. We know this time of year, it is something we need to watch. We'll keep you posted. Extended forecast, 82 tomorrow. After starting off at 50, we go all the way up to 88 on Thursday, and then back into the 90s Friday and Saturday. High pressure in the upper levels moves in, and that means we'll get above average weather and potentially some records. The record on Friday is 92. We're forecasting 94. 92 Saturday. We will start to add some clouds Sunday into Monday. Some of that high cloudiness comes in from the Pacific. We'll be right back.
Are you nostalgic about a favorite toy from your childhood? Now you can vote for one of the next finalists into the National Toy Hall of Fame. 4 inductees will be chosen by a special board, but one will be chosen by the public. That one will be from a list of 5 multi-time finalists who have failed to make the cut in previous years. They include Fisher-Price Corn Popper, My Little Pony, Pez, Pogo Stick, and Transformers. Transformers didn't make it? The final inductees will be revealed on Friday, November 10th.
Okay, I'm going to say the popper. Every house had a popper when I was growing up.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, though. Pez, we all had, I mean.
I know, but that's a candy, not a toy.
But the dispenser was like a toy.
All right, the producer's going to get mad at us if we keep talking about this.
No, Pez dispenser's not a toy.
I prefer My Little Pony.
Thank you.
Wow.
My Little Pony is going to go in there one day for sure.
I got to go with the popper thing with you, Ursula. So, and then Tonka trucks, but that's not on the list. Hey, boy, we're decorated for Halloween. Look at how beautiful our set is here, and the man who has the magic with the woodworking is Woodshop SA owner David Merritt, and anything you can think of, you can make, right?
That's about right.
All right,
Hey.
and combination between you and your wife doing all the decorating here.
Yeah, I'm the woodshop side. She's the balloons and decoration and planning.
And they've got a big special as well if you want to get something. So, how about?
So we want to know, with our spooky set here, would you spend the night in a haunted house?
If all the lights were on, yes.
Okay, I'm not alone.
No. Oh, not alone at all. So,
scan that QR code, let us know. Something less scary.
Look at this. We've got Panamanian. Describe Panamanian food.
Panamanian food is Puerto Rican food, Cuban food, put together. It's on steroids. It's
and
wonderful.
What is that?
That is tortilla. That is Panama's version of corn tortilla. It's delicious. It's wonderful.
They have a grand opening coming up here. All those old clothes in your closet, guess what? They are vintage now. And Minx and Onyx is here, and they're going to tell you how to style all those old fashions.
All that and more when SA Live continues in just a few minutes.